Welcome to Dr.MaryOz's Radical Change Now radio program. Today you will learn how to combine healing and the law of attraction to better your own life in mere weeks. Join us on our journey, which starts right now. Here's your host, Dr. Mary Oz.
Well, hello everyone. It's great to be here at Radical Change Now, where we love to help you make big changes in your life, the changes that you want and the changes that you deserve. And hopefully you had a chance the last 2 weeks to check out our show. We had Rihanna Milne with us, and she talked about trauma in relationships and dating and how it affects our everyday relationships. And she offered us some really powerful gifts at Dr.MaryOz, freegifts.com. So hopefully you've had a chance to check out those gifts and that information and really just begin to get on the journey of healing more and creating change in your life. Today we have an unusual show planned for you. Coach Samm and I are here. Samm, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. How's everybody?
Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you back.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be back.
Yes, and Samm and I have been really busy the last 4 months working on creating a 3-day event here on the East Coast, and it's called Radical Change Live. And we put together this very powerful 3-day seminar weekend, and we thought we would take one of our calls to share with you guys what exactly is going to happen at Radical Change Live. And basically this 3-day program is all about the knowledge, the healing, the skills, and the tools, and the experiences that we get to offer our clients on a daily basis. It's really about opening yourself up to a full immersion of radical change. So Samm, why don't you share with us your thoughts on what we'll be offering out to our participants this weekend when they come to Radical Change Live?
Perfect. So I guess the big picture of the event, right, is that we're going to really help everybody that comes learn how to heal from within, remove their success blocks, and unlock their greatest you. And if we take a deep look into that on like what specifics are we really going to be having our participants walk away with, it's really they're going to learn a new sense of self-awareness. They're going to be able to identify what's really not working in their life, how they can live an everyday life at a higher vibration, really connecting with that inner child that we talk about in our Radical Change coaching program. Then we also really dive deep, too, with identifying their unconscious blocks, teach them new ways and new understandings of themselves and others, really learn what their primary way of giving and receiving love, learn how they can attract more love and more money into their life, live a life with inspiration and figure out your legacy and wow dream. And I think the bigger picture of everything is that they're going to walk away with living their bigger, better, brighter future.
Awesome. And, I'm listening to you share all that, and I'm thinking like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. And, we've done our one-day events before, and we do our coaching programs all the time. So, we have no doubt that this is what you're going to experience, and this is what you're going to walk away with. And this is why our program is called Radical Change, because
exactly.
we tend to teach powerful information that's life-changing, and we show you how to get there quickly. I was listening to everything that you were sharing, Samm, and I just want to share with our listeners. So this particular event is happening this weekend, January 12th, 13th, and 14th. But Samm and I and the Radical Change Coaching Academy is committed to hosting these events twice a year. So we won't be having one till the end of this year. But if you're not able to come this weekend or you didn't make the sign up, that's okay. We do want you to know that if you're listening to this call in the future, though, that twice a year at Radical Change Academy, we offer this 3-day event called Radical Change Live. So Samm, I thought what we would do is just kind of share with our listeners today, kind of give them a sneak preview to what we're doing, because they might be thinking, well, maybe one day I want to go, maybe one day I want to do that. And I thought we would just do like a quick preview of day 1, quick preview of day 2, and a day 3. And then I invited Samm to come along and help me do that today, because you've been such an integral part of helping me pull this together.
Well, of course. I'm so happy to be here. And I always appreciate the invite to come onto your show and get to talk to your listeners. So it has been my pleasure to be here today and get to talk to you a little bit more about this powerful weekend that we're going to be hosting.
Awesome. Thank you for saying yes. It's one of the things we teach, right? Saying yes to new opportunities.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I'm excited about, Samm, is, we have the coaching program and we help people change their lives all the time. But we found this creative way to come immerse yourself in, we're calling the weekend like a gift, right? It's like have some downtime, breathe a little bit, review your life a little bit. But while you're doing that, and of course we guide you on how to do that, and we're there to love and support you and give you everything you need. We're going to have our meals together. But while all that's going on, Samm and I found a way to immerse you in Ho'oponopono healing, actually in the 4 must laws, right? Like instead of just teaching you about it, like you're going to be experiencing some of the laws right there on the weekend. And then, of course, one of our favorite topics, Samm and mine, is results-oriented living. Like Saturday, we spend such a chunk of time making sure that you can wrap your head around results-oriented living so that when you leave, you're really clear about what would it take to improve my relationship with myself, with others. How would I be able to cooperate with the universe 100%? And also, where is my relationship at with God and my soul? And if I want that to change, you'll actually, 1, leave the weekend knowing how to do that. And 2, if you're really excited, and we believe people will be very excited, we're even going to share with you where you can find out more information to go further. Would you agree with all that, Samm?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we're going to be starting off the weekend on Friday night, and really we're just going to spend some time helping our guests to be open and to be more self-aware. And again, we're going to invite them to this gift of downtime, and help them create a space where they can grow, learn, change, or heal. So it's really individually based, right? Some people come and they're in tremendous pain. Some people come and they feel empowered. Some people feel like their life is a mess. And some people come and they feel like, well, they just have this one area that they want some change in. So we make sure that wherever you're at, we meet you where you're at. And then we have you kind of focus on what's not working in your life, right? We help you take a look at, is there something going on health-wise? Are you happy with where your wealth is? Do you feel like you have enough love in your life? Are you happy with your career, your business, your work? Do you need anything to change in the relationships in your life, like with your children or your spouse? And for a lot of people, too, sometimes it's weight, right? They just want a big change with their weight. So we kind of help you do that self-reflection on Friday so you know what you need from the weekend. And then my favorite part is we're going to infuse the power of Ho'oponopono healing on Friday night, and also on Saturday. So Friday night we're going to focus specifically on relationship to self, and we're going to show you how Ho'oponopono is an inside job and how we can heal from within. Saturday, we infuse results-oriented living, and we focus on relationship to others. And if you have people in your life that are annoying you, by the end of Saturday's presentation, you'll know what to do about that. And then on Sunday, we focus on relationship to universe and God. So 3 powerful days. And you want to say something, Samm?
I was just going to say that I really love how we made that distinction, because there are so many relationships in our lives, but those 3 topics are like real big ones. So your relationship to yourself is huge, right? And then you have a relationship to others. You don't live a day on this universe without having a relationship to someone, whether it's a pet, whether it's a family member, whether it's a significant other. And then the last day, it's really important too, because then we really focus on that relationship to the universe, God, and your soul.
Yeah. And you're actually driving home one of the points that I wanted to bring up later in the show, so I'll just bring it up right now, which is that, on previous shows we've talked about, you're right, Samm, not only is energy everything, we have a relationship to everything, right? So on previous shows we've talked about we have a relationship to money. And are you aware of your relationship to money? What does it look like and feel like? Well, it turns out we also have a relationship to relating, right? So whether we're relating to our pet or relating to our boyfriend or relating to our children or whoever, what's your relating muscle like, right? What's your relationship to relating? It sounds kind of funny, but it's worth thinking about. And that's pretty much what we do every day with you, is we're helping you exercise this new, healthier muscle. And one way we do that is with self-awareness. So we have everyone check in with their own level of self-care and self-love. And we also teach you something new called self-expectancy. And self-expectancy is basically when you feel healthy enough and happy enough that you're able to design your dream life or your future the way you want. And we call that a bigger, better, brighter future. But we often find, Sam, right, where do people struggle the most?
I would say opening and trusting.
Yeah. Like in our coaching programs, people, again, they come in all different places. Some are open, some aren't open, some are closed totally, right? So we find that we actually need to start off by helping people to be more open and trusting. Anything about that you want to share, Sam?
Yeah, I think believing more, being open, a lot of people really struggle with that. And we like you said, we see that firsthand when clients are in our program or we're talking to people about exactly what we do here at Radical Change Coaching Academy. And, we said this before, that 80% of the battle is knowing that and realizing that. So once you figure out that you have a problem with openness and trusting, it's kind of like, what do I do now? How do I fix that? And how do I become more trusting? I just can't say it and then it happens like magic. There's work that has to be done to really get that to work. And that's why we really hold our clients' hands here, and we help them really build a foundation where they could believe more, they could trust more, and learn how to be open to really just receive everything that they need to learn and the next steps that they need in their life.
Right, and talking about receiving, right, it's really connected to the law of allowing, right? So a lot of times, I apologize, I have a cold today. A lot of times, too, so. I know, I think everyone I know has something.
I know.
A lot of times when we're learning the law of attraction, we think that's it. And then in our program, we teach law of attraction and law of allowing, and as well as law of deliberate intent and law of detachment. But, law of allowing is really after you've asked for, after you figured out what you want and you believe in the law of attraction, you actually have to be able to receive the very thing that you asked for, right? So that receiving is such an important part.
Yeah.
So another thing we do, which is really deep work, is we do inner child work, right? And, I know as a counselor, like, bring me a client who has really extensive pain or trauma from childhood, and it really takes a long time to help them heal. So when we do inner child work, we're aware of the fact that someone might have a lot of pain from childhood that they're really hurting, you just really have to be sensitive and loving with them. But on the other side of the spectrum is somebody might not say, no, my childhood was good and I don't really have childhood wounds. But then the question becomes, okay, that's awesome, I love that, but how integrated with your inner child are you? So we're going to be doing some work for people that need deep healing with their inner child, but also for people that there's more room to be one with that little girl, like to be more playful in life and to be more free and to need certainty less and to be more trusting. And then another part of inner child work that we find in our Radical Change programs is that if you want to understand your inner child, you need to understand the unconscious conflicts that you're having in life. So, for example, let's say I want to be in a loving, intimate relationship, but I unconsciously believe all relationships result in pain. I'm never going to let myself be in that relationship. Or if I want to be super successful and super wealthy, but I believe money is bad, I'm never going to let myself have that goal. So we not only work with the inner child, and we just don't work with the unconscious conflict, we show you how those two are connected.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you there. That's what I really think is really powerful about what we teach is that, and even some other coaching programs out there, they really explain unconscious conflicts in different ways. But what we find is that with the work that we're doing, we're connecting to our inner child. And once we are connected to our inner child, that's when we see the unconscious conflicts kind of bubble up. And once they look to their inner child, they really get a better understanding of why they think like this, or why they do the same patterns over and over again. So we really find that once they really look inwards, a lot of the times we're able to look at those unconscious conflicts that they're dealing with on a daily basis.
And I know human beings, we love to know why, right? So we don't always have to figure out the why, but when they make that... people. Yeah, that's true. And when we make that connection for them, like you just see their eyes like light up, and it's like an aha moment, right? So it's true, we don't always have to know the why, but when we know the why, it tends to make most people feel better. And I love what you talked about, Sam, that it's true. There's lots of coaching programs out in the world that are really powerful. In fact, next week coming up on the show, we have Dr. Valerie Baker joining us. And she helps women specifically work through their success blocks so they can have a dream life. And I know Dr. Joe Vitale would call what we call unconscious conflicts, he would call counterintentions. So It's always interesting to see where different coaches and different mentors go, but it's really always about freeing that person to really be who they are and live the life that they want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're about to go to commercial break, but a few things I just want to go over quickly with you. So we also talk about you and you. So in our programs, we teach about, we have this personality you, meet Dr. Mary, this is Dr. Mary, meet Coach Samm. But there's this other side of us. There's this other side of you. And there's a physical you and there's a non-physical you. There's a personality you and there's a spiritual you. So we take some time out on Friday night and we teach you how to close the gap of your non-physical you with your physical you. People love that information. But I think my all-time favorite part of our Friday evening is we're going to end the evening with some Ho'oponopono healing work, which is always powerful. And, we're going to help people heal, especially inner child. We're going to do some inner child Ho'oponopono healing work. And when we finish our healing time, we're going to end the evening by reading a book called Ho'oponopono, A Mama's Prayer. And it's a brand new children's Ho'oponopono book that's being released in about 30 days from now. It's going off to the printer tomorrow. And it's a book that we have published here at Radical Change Academy. So it's our first children's book ever. And we'll be tucking in, not really the adults that night, but we'll be tucking in the little girls and the little boys, the inner child that kind of came out to get the healing. So we'll kind of be tucking them in that night before they go to bed.
It's going to be amazing. I had the pleasure to really see the book and read the book before it's gone to print, and it's beautiful. It really connects with your inner child, and it's just a great way to end working with the inner child, that you're working with him or her, and now you get to put him to bed peacefully and start the next day really to work on yourself and working with your relationship to others.
Yeah, and a little bit of background on the story is that, we always teach that Ho'oponopono helps you clean, clear, and heal yourself. And someone like myself, I've been Ho'oponoponoing since 2011, so it's 7 years. And the more I Ho'oponopono, it's true what Dr. Joe Vitale says. You start to live in inspiration, not memory. Right. So one particular day, I was just, I don't even remember what I was doing, but I just got grab a pen, grab a paper. And within 20 minutes, I wrote this children's book. And then I knew I could enjoy the pictures, but I was like, this is powerful. This has to get out there. So I reached out to a couple of well-known artists, and, the prices were really high. And then I ended up finding a local artist, Roseanne Freeman, and she was thrilled to say, let me take the script and see what I could do. And then for about 6 months, in fact, we're going to have her on the show when the book comes out. But about 6 months later, she popped out, and of course we were talking in between there, but she fell in love with Ho'oponopono. She experienced the healing. Her children experienced the healing. And she created this amazing artistic work that I really can't wait till it gets out there. But it's just another amazing Ho'oponopono story.
Yeah, the pictures just add to the whole story and add to the beauty of the book. It really is a beautiful book by the words and the pictures, so it is definitely going to be a great way to end the night.
Yeah. So we're going to go to a commercial break, but be sure to join us as Coach Samm and I come back, and we're going to talk about day 2 at Radical Change Live. And we're really going to be talking about some important information about relationship to others, what's working in your life, and what's not working when it comes to others.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Dr. MaryOz's Radical Change Coaching Program will help you set a healing foundation in your life and teach you how to manifest more of what you want. Are you ready to get the results and radical change you have been longing for too long? Very often our clients tell us that this is the most powerful coaching they have ever received. Come join us and start living life with more results, more love, more wealth, health, and peace, as well as inspiration. For more information, call Coach Samm at 1-833-447-CHANGE. Need help deciding if our Radical Change coaching program is right for you? Apply for a free strategy session with one of our coaches. Be prepared to dive deep and identify the areas in life in which you need healing and transformation. Together, we will clarify how to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be and discover what's possible now. How would it feel to get big changes in less than 30 days for you, your loved ones, and your business? Apply now by calling Coach Samm at 1-833-447-CHANGE or visit us at radicalchangenow.com.
Life Radio with Victoriously Speaking helps you to see life's issues in a new light, offering insight, solutions, and resources in order to gain knowledge about a variety of life's issues. The stories will stir up some questions, tears, and/or laughter, but hopefully it will change the way you look at your own life, situations, and the lives of others. Tune in to Life Radio in order to live independently for excellence on Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Voice America Empowerment.
Follow us on Twitter for more great ideas at Voice America Empowerment.
You are listening to Radical Change Now with Dr. MaryOz. If you'd like to participate in our discussion today, the phone lines are open. Reach us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Let's get back to Radical Change Now. Here again is Dr. MaryOz.
So welcome back. We're here with Coach Samm, and we're talking about our 3-day event that's coming up this weekend, January 12th, 13th, and 14th. We're hosting it on Long Island, the Eastern Coast, which is good. And it's at the Marriott Hotel in Ronkonkoma, Long Island, New York. And we're talking about day 2. We just finished talking about how we're going to focus on relationship to self on day 1. And day 2 is, another whole exciting, amazing, powerful day. And we start off the day by helping our listeners really understand that it really is our responsibility to take 100% responsibility for our own thoughts, feelings, needs, and reaction to others. And basically, we teach people how to not be so upset or thrown off by another person, like when you're having a good day and you lose your mojo, or, not to let other people ruin your day, ruin your mood, or maybe even ruin your dreams. And the barest way, we really teach people how not to let others annoy them and bother them so much. So one of my favorite things to do in the whole wide world is to teach people what we call the 4 primary needs. And I happen to know that this is one of Sam's favorite topics as well.
Absolutely. This is my favorite of all. I mean, I talk about this as much as I can with anybody I can.
Sometimes it's an interesting conversational piece to have at a party, I hear.
I have done it, so I have been to a friendly friend gathering, and I took all the girlfriends, and we sat down, and we talked about the needs and all our boyfriends and the relationships, and it got such a good conversation. We actually invited all the guys to come talk to us about it to see if we got it right, and it was.
And they got into it. Did the guys get into it?
Some of them.
Some, right? Yeah. I could see some being like, "What are you doing?" And then others would really get into it. Yeah,
exactly.
So you never know when the 4 primary needs are going to come in handy.
Exactly. So go
ahead.
I was just going to say, would you want me to really go over that real quick for anybody, if we have any new listeners on the line, so that they can be caught up real quick?
Sure. I know you can't refrain yourself from teaching it. Go right ahead.
I know. So anybody new that's listening, we teach a program called Results-Oriented Living, and that's really just understanding yourself through needs and wants. So we teach that there are 4 human needs, and everybody has these 4 human needs, and it doesn't, it really matters in what order you put them in. So let me tell you what those 4 needs are first. So the 4 are love and connection, significance, variety, and certainty. And what we do is, what we tell our clients is, the most important thing is to figure out your order. So you have to figure out what's more important to you, love and connection or significance, variety or certainty. And once you're able to list them 1 through 4, it really teaches you to really understand yourself and really be able to communicate with other people what your needs and wants are. And, of course, that comes very handy in any type of relationship you have, whether it's with a spouse, whether it's with a family member. You really want to be able to communicate your needs and wants and have people understand and receive them. So I can even speak to myself. So if I was looking at the 4 needs, my first need is significance. My second need is certainty. My third is love and connection. And then my 4th is variety. So when I look at my list, on a daily basis, I need to have a lot of significance and a lot of certainty in my life, because those are my top 2 needs. And I get certainty by having a schedule that I stick to every day. I get my significance by being invited on your show, getting to really work closely with clients and really help them. So I get significance and certainty through a variety of ways. But what gets fun is when you get to look at those 4 needs and compare yourself to a relationship that you're in. So a lot of the times people will say, okay, these are my 4 needs. Let me look at my spouse's 4 needs. Mm-hmm. And don't be alarmed. If your order is completely different, it doesn't mean the world's going to end. It doesn't mean you're not going to be in a good relationship. It just means you have to learn how to receive and give the way somebody else may need it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, but well said, Sam. That's exactly it. Yeah. Very impressive. I'm sitting back listening to how well you're teaching that, and you have your head really wrapped around it, and I know you apply it all the time. Right? You apply it in your relationship with Nick, you apply it at work, you apply it with friends, bosses at different times.
Right. No, and one thing, especially when I've used it a lot in my relationship to really help understand myself and what do I bring to the table in a relationship, and what do I need to bring that I'm not, and vice versa. And it's been a lot of eye-opening both ways for my significant relationship and relationship to friends and coworkers. one thing I've learned that's been a hard lesson to really understand, but I've learned it through our program, is we say something that it's not the person, it's the program they're running, right? So if I come up to, if I'm having a hard time with a specific person, it's not the person and it's not him or her doing something intentionally, it's just the way they run one of their needs. So whether it be significance, or that's the way that they love somebody, that's the way that they meet their need for variety. So it's not the person, it's the program they're running, has been a very powerful sentence that we use a lot in our program.
Yeah, a lot of times people come back and say, just focusing on that quote we use, it's not the person, it's not the problem, it's the program. Just focusing on that quote becomes eye-opening for them. And then in our advanced courses, we teach even, taking that whole message a little deeper. We teach people that if you think about it, when someone's annoying you or bothering you and you think, why are you doing that? That's wrong. I don't like that, right? They're running a program that doesn't agree with your program, but you're running a program that says their way is wrong. So it's not really just about them running a program. They are running a program. You're running a program. And when you're committed to Ho'oponopono healing, you're committed to cleaning your program and looking at your program, not theirs. Right. So it becomes a really powerful tool to do that. I just want to share, too, that I had the unique opportunity to teach the needs to my children ever since they were been young. So in my household, it's family talk. Like pipe down your loving connection over there, or pipe down your significance, or, hey, Mom, your need for certainty is bubbling up. Do you want to calm down a little bit? And, for me, it's such a gift when I see, whether it's my kids or people that I've trained to become a coach or yourself, it's such a gift when I see that this is something that you're living with. Like, this is something you're living by, right? It's just not like a piece of knowledge. You apply it all the time. And at this point, you apply it naturally.
Yeah, it is. It's all natural at this point, exactly. It's not me sitting down trying to figure out what am I doing and what vehicle am I driving. It's like second nature. Oh, I'm doing this because I need to meet my significance, or right. I acted that way because my certainty was rattled, and then once you're able to identify it, it's easier to figure out a solution to fix it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And, for me, I've been doing the needs for something like 18 years now. And you and I were talking a little bit before the show, and you helped me realize something. So, you shared your needs. I'm going to share my needs too. But normally I'm very certainty driven, significance second, loving connection with variety last. And I would say a couple of years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, I was thinking like, I just feel like life's a little boring. And why does variety have to bother me so much? And normally we can't move our needs around, so I don't want to give that message out. But I've been living and breathing these needs for like 18 years or so, and I help people with it every day. So I decided I'm just going to play with this, and I want to increase my variety a little bit. And at first I really felt like a fish out of water, and I was like, maybe I don't want to do this. But I kept at it for a while, and it took a while. It took like a year and a half. And then what I'm finding is the more I do this radio show, the more Radical Change Academy takes off, the more we're really making a big difference in people's lives. Like, loving connection is just rising on its own. And like some days I kind of take a look at myself and I'm like, are you still certainty and significance, or have you changed? And it really feels like the loving connection. And in fact, sometimes I think my variety is rattling you, Sam.
Oh, yeah. When
we work together.
I'm not on that train yet. I'm not ready for variety.
But, so it is possible. People do ask us, can our needs change? They can. Do they change on their own? Absolutely not. But if you're doing a lot of self-awareness and a lot of work and growing, can your needs change? Absolutely. Or sometimes when things like scary, unwanted things like sickness or death hit us, we can naturally change our needs because life got interrupted in a big way. So I think we gave our listeners a good sample of talking about needs and how powerful that could be. Absolutely. And basically, this primary needs thing and doing all this work, it just helps you feel much better because you learn to accept and love yourself, not only yourself, but others. And you learn to do that in a way that's freeing and not controlling. And you kind of, even Saturday, the goal is our participants are going to walk away with this sense of you be you and I'll be me, right? Like I don't have to control you and I don't have to change you. We also do this really powerful piece called The Primary Way of Receiving Love, where we help people identify what's their primary way of receiving love. And we talked about this on many shows at Radical Change Now. When you know the needs and you know somebody's primary way of receiving love, you can radically change a relationship. You can save a marriage. You can even save a marriage where there's been infidelity. So it's very powerful to know somebody's needs and to know their primary way of receiving love. And not just in love relationships, in all relationships. Also on Saturday, we're going to do some work on unconscious conflicts. We're going to go a little deeper with that. And we're actually going to share, which comes from our program, something called releasing your unseen. Your unseen. We have something called the Releasing Your Unseen formula. And pretty much it helps you break through whatever your unconscious conflict is. And in our program, we teach if you change your unconscious conflict, you change your life. If you change the 3 biggest core unconscious conflicts, you not only change your life, you change your identity. Any thoughts on that, Sam?
I mean, from an outsider looking in, I know we got to witness this on our one-day event, that sometimes understanding unconscious conflicts, it takes a lot to really wrap your head around that, right? And
Yes.
One of the common questions we get back is, well, if it's unconscious, how am I supposed to know what it is, right?
Right.
So, and that's where we get to teach our formula and how to really be able to break that down. And people go from not being clear to being clear, and from not seeing to be able to release the conflict. And that's why it's a great topic. I mean, when people are ready to really dive deep, because it's diving deep to your inner self, your inner child, your unconscious thoughts, beliefs, and really doing a lot of self-work internally to really figure out what your next steps are. And usually what comes out of that is life-changing for people.
Yeah, and to tap into your self-worth, right? Sometimes people struggle with self-worth and what they deserve. So they really require that inner deep work to get to that point. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my favorite part of Saturday is always what we call the success panel. So about midday through the day, we have people that have been helped by our program come in and share from the stage. What did they do? Where were they at? And how had they gotten radical change? And kind of just thinking about our one-day event, Sam, when we had the success panel.
That's
right?
so powerful.
Yeah, I think even we were all blown away on the one-day event because I think we had 4 people on stage, and one of the women was sitting next to another woman who had been a big inspiration to her. So they were in the group at the same time, in the Radical Change coaching group, and one woman kind of felt like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could work through all this stuff. And there was another woman in the group struggling just as much as her. And she shared openly on the stage how the program was powerful. You know, Dr. Mary had helped her so much, but there was this other ingredient of this other person in the program that really kept her going. And people were crying and on stage, off stage, and just, some of that raw emotional moment, right?
Yeah, it was very moving.
So on our 3-day event, we're going to have a success panel again. And then we're going to end the day with some more healing, and we're actually going to do healing and energy work. And basically, we're going to help people remove the blocks when it comes to relating to self, others, and God. We're going to dip into a little bit of Sunday on Saturday night. And then we're going to, after we do that energy work, we'll be done for the day on Saturday. So we're going to take another quick commercial break here at Radical Change Now. But be sure to join us when we come back, because we're going to be talking about relationship to the universe, how to cooperate 100%, And we're going to be poking around about how's your relationship with God? Where is your closeness at? And just to remind everybody, we're talking about our 3-day event called Radical Change Live. It's at the Marriott Hotel in Ronkonkoma on Long Island. And this event is taking place this weekend, January 12th, 13th, 14th. We have a few seats left. If you're interested in attending, you can call Coach Samm at 1-833-447-CHANGE.
Live up to your fullest potential. This is the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Dr. MaryOz's Radical Change Coaching Program will help you set a healing foundation in your life and teach you how to manifest more of what you want. Are you ready to get the results and radical change you have been longing for too long? Very often our clients tell us that this is the most powerful coaching they have ever received. Come join us and start living life with more results, more love, more wealth, health, and peace, as well as inspiration. For more information, call Coach Samm at 1-833-447-CHANGE. Need help deciding if our Radical Change coaching program is right for you? Apply for a free strategy session with one of our coaches. Be prepared to dive deep and identify the areas in life in which you need healing and transformation. Together, we will clarify how to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be and discover what's possible now. How would it feel to get big changes in less than 30 days for you, your loved ones, and your business? Apply now by calling Coach Samm at 1-833-447-CHANGE or visit us at radicalchangenow.com.
We hear just be you a lot these days. But who are you? What is an authentic life? The answer to these questions and more will be answered on the Authentic Living Show, hosted by Andrea Matthews. Andrea will interview some of today's spiritual, psychological experts and will provide her own wisdom to help you raise your consciousness to the level of your I am. Listen for Authentic Living with Andrea Matthews. Heard live every Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Friend us on Facebook to keep up with what's empowering the world. Voice America Empowerment.
You are listening to Radical Change Now with Dr. MaryOz. If you'd like to participate in our discussion today, the phone lines are open. Reach us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Let's get back to Radical Change Now. Here again is Dr. MaryOz.
So welcome back, everyone, and welcome back, Coach Samm. We are going to talk about day 3, where we focus on relationship to the universe, relationship to God, to our divine self, and our soul. And that's day 3 of our 3-day event called Radical Change Live. And you know, I kind of have a funny feeling about this day. And ever since this past Sunday, I'm not really going to be in charge of Sunday. Like, I feel like I totally know what to do Friday, and I totally know what to do Saturday, but I keep getting this inner feeling that Sunday I'm just going to let it unfold and let it go. So, and it makes sense, right? Sunday is a day that we're talking about how is our relationship to not only God, but the universe. And is there a gap, a wider gap than we want between, loving God or being close to God? And then, of course, what would it take to change that? So we're going to start Sunday morning off with talking about the 4 must laws and how it's really our responsibility to learn how to cooperate with each of the laws. So we just touch upon that a little bit. And I think, Sam, you would just share with our listeners the 4 laws in case they haven't heard our previous shows. What do we consider the 4 must laws to be?
Sure. So we start off with the law of attraction, and then we go into the law of deliberate intent, the law of allowing, and the law of detachment.
Yep.
And then what we do is we really help our clients understand it, apply it, live it, and then master it.
Yeah. right? And then when we learn to master the law of attraction and we've healed our inner child and our unconscious conflicts, the belief is we really can be, do, or have anything we want. We can have it all. We can attract it all into our life. And we really begin to believe all is well. Like all is well in my world. All is well with me. And it's an incredibly different way to live when you feel supported, like supported and adored and cherished, whether it's the universe or whether it's God. And someone like myself, like I can't talk about the universe without talking about God. And, you know, when I say God, for me, it's God. For some people, it might be divinity or it might be sauce, right? But in my world, God created the universe. And it's my responsibility to know everything I need to know so that I can cooperate with these laws and have the best life possible. So we, excuse me, we take some time on Sunday. And this is the material. We actually haven't taught this in any of our classes yet. But we're going to make some nice distinctions between what's the difference between your personality self, your higher self, your soul, and your divine self. So we spent a good chunk of time on Sunday morning going over what all those different names really mean. We won't be sharing that on the show today. You would have to come on the event. So I'm going to tease you with that a little bit. But it's just powerful information, and it makes a difference to know those things. And throughout the whole weekend, and especially on Sunday, our goal is really help you to close that gap. We were talking about Friday, you and you, right? How do we close the gap? Esther Hicks would say, how do we close the gap between your non-physical self and your physical self? And we have another special treat. Radical Change Academy and our Radical Change coaches, we have some really powerful toolboxes. They're not physical, of course, but we have these toolboxes, and you never know what we're going to pull out of the toolbox. So one of the tools that we'll be using on Sunday is called Theophostic Healing Prayer. So we'll be doing some Theophostic prayer. And again, that will be related to your relationship to God, relationship to self and others, and anything else that people need. Any thoughts on that, Sam?
I'm just excited. I'm excited for what's going to happen that day, just because you touched on it that we're really not in charge in that day. We're not in charge of our inspiration and our healing for that day, and whatever comes is going to come, and I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be a very, very, very powerful session.
Yeah, I'm super excited to teach that and have everybody receive that. And then there's two other things that I'm excited about that probably take a little explanation. So throughout the weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to be doing something that's called intervention time. And I guess if you've ever been on a Tony Robbins event, or even if you watched his movie, I'm Not Your Guru, which I think is on Netflix, right, Sam?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. So intervention time is when you just kind of allow your audience to put out there, like, what are they struggling with? So you ask for a volunteer, and someone volunteers, and then you help them either apply the needs to their life, and right there you see them learn the needs, put their needs in order, and then we talk about how they want it to affect their life. And pretty much you watch somebody from like being like, okay, I don't know if I want to talk and share. And intervention time is you watch them kind of open up like a flower. You watch some kind of internal transformation happen right inside of them. So we do this at some key times on the weekend, and one of them is around the needs. Another time is around the unconscious conflicts. And there's just nothing more powerful and beautiful than watching someone have this internal, like, aha moment that releases them either from pain or pressure or stuckness. Would you agree with that, Sam?
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. It's so fulfilling to watch as a coach, and, you know, it's so fulfilling just to watch another person really get the healing that they're looking for from an outsider's view.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then we built in something else called an anchor. So an anchor is like, we do this a lot at Radical Change. An anchor is when you're feeling really good or feeling positive or like whatever positive feeling that you want to live more with, we have you anchor in that moment, and we have you anchor in that experience. So when we did our one-day event, there was a young girl. She was probably in her 20s, and she came to the event, and I mean, she was ready, she was open, she was working on her trust level and believing. And she came to see me after the one-day event for like 3 or 4 times. And I was amazed that every time she came to see me, like she was still buzzing. Like she was like, oh my God, that event. And she was still talking about it and carrying her little folder. And it was like this big light for her. It was like something that was uplifting her. So an anchor is when we have positive experience like that. We have this simple way of like tapping our leg or tapping our heart or tapping 2 fingers together, that you anchor in that positive experience with a physical anchor. So when the event is no longer happening, you can recall those positive moments within seconds, within a half a second. So we have this surprise anchor where we literally will anchor in positive healing for you all weekend. So when you leave, the 3-day event is still alive for you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's a pretty cool anchor to have.
Yes, absolutely. So any other thoughts, Sam? We have a minute or 2 left before we close. Anything else that you're excited about or looking forward for the weekend coming up?
I mean, I'm really excited for the interventions because that's my little splash of variety for the weekend. That you really don't know what to expect when it comes to that. And people don't really know what to expect either. So they take up the courage to get out and put themselves out there with all that, with their vulnerability, and sometimes like huge life-changing shifts happen, and it's a really vulnerable time to really watch somebody go from point A to point B in however many minutes the intervention is, but it's just like you get to watch somebody's transformation right in front of your eyes.
And you're in it. You're a part of it. You're literally right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, just yesterday I was talking to one of our coaches that we sometimes do what's called strategy sessions for free. Like we do a blast of strategy sessions. And this particular coach was doing strategy sessions for the very first time. And she got on a call with a woman who had some money issues. And she helped this woman with Ho'oponopono. And she gave her a strategic Ho'oponopono plan to help her get through her money issues. And about 30 days later, she checked in with the woman, and the woman sent her an email. And like none of us saw this coming. Like this is what I feel like. We have no idea what Sunday, like when we do the closing and people talk about what did they get from the weekend. So this coach shared with the person shared with the coach, and we didn't know this, she didn't share it on the call, that she had such big money issues, she was actually contemplating ending her life. So because of the Ho'oponopono and because of the healing, and I believe we might have taught her to do tapping at that time, because everything shifted and her money issue got resolved within like 7, 10, or 12 days, she didn't have to think about hurting herself anymore. So it was like one coaching strategy session on Ho'oponopono saved a life with a coach who knew what she was doing. Right? And I just think that's such a big testimonial to how powerful the work that we're doing is.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today, Sam, and helping me do this call and getting the word out there. So just to remind our listeners, if you came to the call late today, we are about to have our first Radical Change live event on Long Island at the Ronkonkoma Marriott Hotel. It starts January 12th. It goes till Sunday. And if you're interested we have a few seats that are open that we're willing to fill. You could call Coach Samm at 1-833-447-CHANGE, CHANGE. And just want to wish everyone an awesome week. And for those of you who are joining us this weekend, Sam's ready, I'm ready. We're about to have a very powerful, healing, transformational weekend. And I want to remind our listeners to come back next Wednesday as Dr. Valerie Baker will be joining us. And she'll be talking specifically to women about how to remove success blocks so you can have an amazing life. And she's going to talk to us about how good can it get. So that's next Wednesday, 1 p.m. here at the Radical Change Now show with Dr. MaryOz on the Empowerment Channel at Voice America.
Thank you for tuning in this week for Radical Change Now. Be sure to join Dr. MaryOz again next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Until then, have the best week of your life.